Welcome everybody to a Saturday Empowered Living. I don't know about you, but our house is getting ready for Christmas. Holly's two little boys are with us. Caleb, who is 6, Emerson, who is 4.5, are just charged up. So as you can imagine, we are just having a blast. Our friend Andy Hall and his wife Charlie gave the boys a Lego set for Advent calendar. So they've been doing the Advent calendar every day. Our friends Michelle Henniger gave the boys an elf on the shelf. So they've been every day kind of hunting the house to find the elf. It's just been great putting in all the different traditions from Thanksgiving to Christmas that people in the Empowered Living community shared with Holly of what they did through tradition. So we're super excited and hope you and your family are getting excited for this holiday season. I wanted to share with you a lesson from the Double Your Income program. First off, thank you to just hundreds of you who have purchased the program. Double Your Income. You are absolutely going to love the program. I guarantee it. It's going to really help you in the mindset of what it takes to double your income. This lesson comes from, it's video number 2. The lesson itself is about 45 minutes long. We're going to take just about a 9-minute clip. And the title of this one is It Possible? See, in order for you to double your income, to be honest, I don't know how you're going to do it. And you don't either. I don't even know what your business is. I don't even know what your income is. So how could a program give you specifics about the what to do? They can't. That could happen through one-on-one mentoring. This program is much more about who you need to be before you do your doing. What is your being? What's the thinking and the mindset necessary to double your income? See, if you don't have the mindset right, if you don't have the thinking right, if you don't have the fortified belief right, then to be honest, I don't care what it is that you do. I've seen people with excellent plans and they execute excellent plans with perfection, and yet they still self-sabotage. Just as things are going perfectly, they sabotage their own success. It's the proverbial kind of shoot themselves in the foot. And you think, what happened? Everything was going so well. How did you drop the ball when you were so close to the finish line? And see, we never outperform our own self-belief. It's so powerful. So watch this clip. I'll come back on the other side. When you thought of your goal of this year, why did you choose anything less than doubling your income? Because I know there's some people who have gone through this program and they thought, well, I would really love to double my income, but you know what? I don't think I can do that. So I'm gonna just, my goal will be 50%. I'll be happy with 50%. If I can get 50%, I'll settle there. Let me tell you about one really sharp individual who I was working with at a vision retreat setting. And I was a thinking partner. And when I asked this person, what's the goal for the year? They came back with like a 30% increase in their income. And so I said, why so low? Why not double it? Why did you choose that number? And they said, well, I've got this one client right now and they make up about 30% of my income. And so I'm not going to count on them. Right? Because that I could lose that client. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to count on, everything else that I can do. Now, to the average person, that sounds very logical, right? It sounds like that's a pretty smart thing to do. I would imagine there'd be a lot of people out there who would support that and say, that's prudent, that's smart. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't count your chickens before they hatch, right? That contract could absolutely go away, and even if it doesn't, adding on another of that size could be really hard to do. Those are a dime a dozen, right? See, my question is why would you ever even entertain the idea of not doubling the income? Why would you even entertain that you couldn't count on that income? Why wouldn't you just say, my goodness, this client is 30% of my income. They must really like me. I must do a lot of service for them. I must provide a lot of value for these people. I need to find more clients like that. Why would you not think of ways to be able to double it? See, from right where you are right now, from where you are right at this state. You know what I heard for the next 15 seconds after I asked my client this question? I asked, why would you ever entertain not doubling your income? I heard nothing. Just crickets. They couldn't answer me. And do you know why they couldn't answer me? I'll tell you why. Because the idea of doubling their income had never even occurred to them. What had occurred to them was defaulting to settling for less. And so if you ever even had thinking in that way, if you've never thought into a way for you to double your income, if you've never allowed that idea to be entertained in your mind, then of course there's going to be a barrier in your logic stopping you from considering that possibility in the first place. Think about that. Not only does our logic keep us where we are, our logic actually prohibits us from thinking of all the things that we could do beyond that. See, your current belief system not only produces your current results, it also blocks you from thinking anything beyond it. So here's another question I'd like you to ask. What's reasonable for you? Like what's a reasonable goal? What's a reasonable expectation? Come on, think about it. What's a reasonable expectation for the amount of money you can earn? You know what you earned last year. Now, what's a reasonable expectation for you in this coming year? See, I'm not asking you what you want. The question here is, what's reasonable? See, when I was asking my client, why would you think about a 30% and not, a double? One of the things they were saying is it's not reasonable to double. So a follow-up question would be, is then what makes 30% reasonable, and why isn't doubling your income reasonable? What has you so fortified in your current logical belief or in your thinking that makes you think that whatever it is that you said, that the 30% increase was reasonable? Why is that reasonable? Why is that reasonable? So go ahead and answer these questions in your workbook. What is a reasonable expectation for the amount of money you can earn in this coming year? And what makes that reasonable? See, these questions are purposed to challenge the conviction of what you believe. They're not easy to answer. You're not going to whiz through these questions. See, to challenge your current logic and to challenge the conviction you hold in your mind is hard work. It's why most people don't do it. This is what I do when I work with anybody in a one-on-one private, thinking partnership relationship. This is what I do whenever I'm working with somebody on a vision retreat or in my mastermind groups. I want to challenge the conviction of their thinking. I really want them to do the hard work of thinking. Just like I'm challenging the conviction of your thinking through this course. So please do not leave this teaching session without making a commitment to yourself that you will sit down, pick up your pen, and start writing. I'm giving you a roadmap. It's one that was given to me, and I promise you it works. I promise you it works. Stick with me through this whole course. Do what I ask you to do. Just trust this process, and you will see what a huge difference this will make in every single area of your life. I'm 100% certain of that. By thought, the thing you want and desire is brought into your awareness. By intention and willingness, you come into agreement with it. By faith, based on understanding, you take daily actions to move it into physical form. The very best thing you can do for yourself and this world is to operate from the highest level of awareness of your oneness with God and the potential He has given to you. I believe in you. Thanks for trusting me. All right. So there's a lot to unpack in this clip. I'll just focus on just one or two of these ideas. Number one is that, isn't it interesting that it doesn't even occur to us to dream about doubling your income? Most people may have a passing thought of, oh, wow, it would be nice to double, but most people don't really lock into that idea. It never occurs to them to set a goal for that. You have to ask yourself, why is that? Because again, I have spoken all over the world. I've spoken literally to hundreds of thousands of people. And whenever I'm leading, a seminar, I will often ask the audience, how many of you would like to double your annual income? Think about how much money you made last year. How many of you would really like to double that income? And everybody's hand goes up. Well, of course it does. That's an IQ test. Everybody would like to double their income. And then I ask them, how many of you have that as a realistic, workable goal right now? That's what you're working on and towards right now. And every hand goes down. And you have to ask yourself why. And for most of them, it's that it never even occurred to them. In other words, their limiting belief prevented them from thinking at a higher level of awareness. This is why in this program it's so powerful, because what we're looking at is not the doing, we're looking at the internal shifts of belief necessary for you to believe that it's even possible. Until you even believe it's possible, you won't even allow yourself to entertain the idea. And what you'll do is, just like I said on the video, you will default to settling for less. Now here's the interesting thing. Somebody who's making $50,000 a year won't have as a real goal to earn $100,000. But they'll have some fantasy goal to make $1 million with zero belief that they'll ever get to the $1 million. And see, here's the problem with setting a goal that's so far beyond your belief. It's that, you're going to fail all your way to success, right? You're going to fail all the way to success. But if you're failing towards a goal that you don't even believe is possible for you, then you won't suffer the pain of that failure. It's like, I didn't even expect it anyway, so no big deal. My hopes aren't crushed. Part of goal achievement is the agony of defeat. I remember, growing up as a young child, every Saturday there used to be a TV show called The Wild World of Sports. And the beginning entry of that kind of program, they showed this woman downhill skier. And she begins to fail and she tumbles down. It's a famous video clip. And it says, the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. Oftentimes it is the agony of our defeats that cause us to get back up. It's when our hopes kind of get crushed and we get back up and we say, I was so close. When we feel the pain of an expected failure, we then, for some reason, the pain of that expected failure allows us to dive just a little bit deeper, to seek a little bit more into our resources, has us fight a little bit harder. But if we have some fantasy goal where there's no real connection or attachment to it, it's meaningless. See, I found that most people will claim they want much more than they really want and settle for much less than they can have. I really hope that you will jump in. We are offering this program right now at an amazing killer offer. An amazing killer offer. You owe it to yourself to kind of look at this program. If you've ever really thought about latching on to a goal to double your income and get really serious about doubling your income in a 12-month period, this program, I promise you, this program will give you all the thinking and all the mindset shifts necessary for you to do that. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Enjoy your time with your family as you prepare for the holidays. See you next week. God bless. Be well.